So in this class, we are going to see about recursion topic. Fine. So previously we have discussed about different function concept, how we can use or how we can write a function concept in C. As I told you, there are three main things that you have to consider when you write a function concept in C. What are they? First one, function declaration, function calling, and function definition. Okay, followed by the function concept. So in this class, we are going to see about recursive function, recursion. Okay, so let me give you an introduction about this recursion. So recursion is the concept of calling a function, okay, calling a function from the function definition. Normally, where we call a function from the main program. Okay, so whenever we want to call a function, the function has to be called by its name. So when a function is called, the compiler will move to the function definition and execute the code that is given inside the function definition. So this is a normal procedure of executing the function, right? So we are going to see the next concept in function, that is recursive function. Okay, a normal function is where we call a function from the main program. Okay? So if you are calling the function from the function definition itself, or else we can say a function that calls itself, okay, which we call it as a recursive function. Okay, as you can see this diagram, here we have a function called recursive. Okay, this is my main program. This is my main program. From the main program, I'm calling a function called recurse. So what it will do, it will go and it will execute the code that is given inside the function definition. So what is the function definition here? This is the function definition of my function recursive. Okay, when you see inside the function definition, I have another one function called, okay, I have another one function called recursive. Again, I'm calling the same function inside my function definition, okay, which we call it as recursive function. Okay, now we are going to see a program by using this recursive function. Okay, we are going to see a program, a factorial of a number with this recursive function concept. As you can see this program, here I have three main factors. As I told you, if you want to use a function concept in C program, where we use function declaration, where we write function declaration, function definition, and function call. When you see this program, I have a header file followed by the function definition. So how you declare a function with its name along with the data type, the return type, and the arguments that I have to use inside a function. When you see this function, I have a return type for this function as integer. So int, what is my function name? Fact of, followed with the arguments, the number of arguments that I'm going to use inside my function. Okay, and the main program is, okay, I have used the main program after the function declaration. Variables are declared. Now what I'm going to do for this program, finding out of a factorial, okay, of a number. So how do you find a factorial? If I say 5 factorial, how do you calculate the factorial of a number? Yes, let me open my highlighter. Okay. So if I say 5 factorial, how the factorial will be calculated? 5 into, okay, 5 into 4 into up to 1. Okay, the product of the values 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. It will be calculated up to 1. This is how you calculate. You will find out the factorial of a given number. So initially, I need to get the factorial number from the user. How do you get? By using this scanf function. Okay, so I get the value of the number that I want to find out the factorial from the user. Okay, from the user. And after I get the value from the user, I'm going to call that function with my arguments. So I'm calling a function fact of, and this is my function definition. Okay, I'm passing this value n to the function definition, to my function. Okay, I'm calling a function fact of. Inside that I have the variable name n that will pass the factorial number to the function definition. Now I have the value of 5 in the variable n here. So n will have the value 5. Okay, so 3 conditions I have to check with the number. What are all the conditions? In case if the number is a 0 factorial means it should return 1. In case if my user given number is 1, it should return 1. 1 factorial, 0 factorial, all the values all the values, return value should be 1. Okay, if I give the input as 0 factorial, it should return 1. If I give the input as 1 factorial, it should give the return value as 1. In case if the number is neither 0 nor 1, okay, it should return the factorial value for the given input. How do you find the factorial? 5 factorial means 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 will give you the final value. Okay. Now, how can I write the logic to find out the factorial of a number? See here, n into. How do you calculate? We do the product, okay, from the given user input to the n value 1. That is 5 into 4 into 3 into 1. Okay, what is the logic to find out the factorial of a number? See here, return n into. See, when you see the factorial number, if I give the input as 5 into 4 into, okay, 4 into 3 into 2 into, okay, 2 into 1. So when you see the sequence, for each time the value of n is decremented by 1. So how do I write the logic? Return n into fact of n minus 1. Okay, return n into fact of n minus 1. What is this fact of n minus 1? I'm calling the function again. I'm calling the function again. Okay, so repeatedly, how long this statement will execute? If I give the user input as 5, it will execute till 1. Okay, it will execute till 1. Okay, finally, I'll get the value as 120. Okay, after I find out all the values, 5 into 4 into 3 into 1. Okay, if I get the final value, then that value will be returned to my main program. Okay, that value will be returned back to my main program. And finally, I'll have the output as factorial equal to 120. Right? Now we are going to do this factorial program. Okay, factorial program in online compiler. Okay, I'm going to open the online compiler. So what is, as I told you, what is recursive function? Recursive function, a function that calls itself is called recursive function. Okay, let me minimize it. Let's put it. Yeah. Now I am going to write a code to find out the factorial of a given number using recursive function. Okay. So header file is given, and after that I am going to I'm going to define my function with the name called factorial. Okay, so factorial of, since I need to pass the value, okay, the return value or even the arguments have to be passed from my main function to the function definition, I have to provide an argument to my function factorial. Okay, so int, say for example, I'm going to give the name as f. Okay, so this is my function definition, and the function name is factorial of. And what is my main program? From the main program, I have to call the function name factorial of. Now I'm going to write the code inside my main program. This is my main program. Okay, so initially what I have to do, I have to get the value, get a number from the user to find out the factorial. So I'm going to give the variable name as number. This is the number. This is the variable name in which I'm going to get the value from the user. Okay, so printf statement to know what to enter when the output screen is open. So enter the number. Enter the number. Okay, enter the number. Scanf %d, comma, ampersand number. So now I'm getting the input value from the user using the variable name number. Okay, now I'll get the input value from the user to find out the factorial value. Okay, after I get the value, I have to pass this number input to the function definition. So what is my function name? My function name is factorial of. So I have to pass the value which I get from the user to the function definition. So how can I pass? Okay, how will I pass this value number to the function definition? Okay, call the function. Call the function with its name. My function name is factorial, and inside my function call, I need to specify the parameter. I need to specify the parameter. Okay, since my function is having return value, okay, int, I need to get the value while I call this function. So I'm going to give the variable name as fact of, okay, facts. Okay, so fact of this variable will get the return value from the function. Now I'm calling the function. Now I'm calling the function with the argument value called number. So this number value which I received from the user, which I get from the user, will be passed to my function definition. Now what I have to do, that value, that number will be received and assigned it to the variable f. Now I want to check this, okay, whether this f value is equal to 0. Okay, if the f value is equal to 0, I should return 1. 0 factorial means 1 factorial. Else if, okay, if my f value equal to 1, then I should return again 1. Okay, now the final logic of finding what the factorial of a number. What is the final logic? I should return, okay, I should return f into, what is my f? Okay, f is the value which is assigned with the user input number. Okay, so f into, what is my function name? Factorial. So factorial of f minus 1. What is the f value? Okay, this f variable only will have the value that is received, that is get from the user input, because we are passing this number value from the function call to the definition. Number is the value that we pass from the function call to the function definition. So that value will be received and assigned it to the variable f. Okay, when you check if f equal to 0, it will return 1. If you check f value equal to 1, that also will return 1. Else, in case if the first two conditions are not satisfied, then it will return f into factorial of f minus 1. Okay, semicolon. When you see this code, again I am calling this factorial function inside my function definition. Okay, so this concept we call it as a recursive function or recursion. Okay, let me run this code for you. After I return the value here, I am going to print the fact value. Okay, I'm going to print the fact value. So /n, the factorial values, Okay, percentage d, since fact is an integer, I have to use the format specifier percentage d. Okay, let me run this code. Okay, it's asking the about the number. The number I want to find out the factorial. Okay, I am going to give the input value as 5. See here, the factorial value is 1. Okay, so this is how you have to write program with recursive function. What is recursive function? A function that calls itself is called recursive function. And what we discussed after that, we have discussed about, okay, including that recursive concept in a factorial program. Okay, hope you understand this concept.